an entertaining game at Bartercard Cuthbury Stadium today, and it was Wimborne Town that came out on top 4-2 against playoff hopefuls Yate Town, whose 2 defeats this week will have been probably a body blow to their hopes of promotion. A lovely day here in Wimborne, and both teams started brightly. In the very first minute, a lovely flick from Luke Stone sat up for Sam Griffin, and he lashed the ball from 30 yards and went just over the top. Steve Cuss had started with exactly the same team that didn't really perform last week and went down to a 2-0 defeat at Mangotsfield, but what a difference today. On 6 minutes, and Yate really coming back into the game. On 6 minutes, a strong shot parried by Jason Harville, and the onrush rushing forward just missed the rebound, which would have put Yate ahead. And then again on 10 minutes, Jason Harville had to be alert to palm a strong shot over the bar. Franklin Clark, who was having a big influence on the game at this stage, hit a cracking right foot shot from way out on the left wing that didn't curl enough to come inside the post, but gave the keeper a fright. And then 1 minute later, on 22 minutes, Sam Griffin took a lovely through ball, took it beautifully on his chest and hit it first time with his left foot on the volley across the goalkeeper, but it just evaded the keeper's left-hand post. Wimborne took the lead on 34 minutes when they were awarded a free kick wide on the left. Billy Maybury's curling free kick was glanced in at the far post by James Stokell, 1-0 to the Magpies. And for the rest of the half, Wimborne were definitely on top and could well have added to that tally. Mark Gamble had a couple of good chances. One went wide and one saved by the keeper. And then on 40 minutes there was a bit of nonsense that resulted in Arnie and one of the Yate players being booked. 1-0 to Wimborne at half time though, playing with a bit of a breeze in the first half, and game up for grabs. Wimborne came out for the second half kicking against the slight breeze, but it only took them 5 minutes to double their lead. And for me, this was the pick of the goals. Mark Gamble set free down the left. He beat his defender on the left-hand side, took the ball forward towards the byline, and when his hard, low cross came in, there was his striking partner, Luke Stone, to meet it at the far post, to poke it past Horson to make it 2-0. Magpies were dominant at this stage and could have made it 7 minutes later when Luke Holmes' shot was blocked by Horsell after he beat his man in the box. Horsell, who's had an excellent second half, was rapidly becoming Luke's big bar. He's 3 goals from another save on 60 minutes this time from Luke Stone. But on 64 minutes, Yate got back into the game when they were awarded a penalty for a foul by Jason Harville. Jason appealed the decision with the referee, but the referee pointed to the spot, and it was and the ball was tucked away to make it 2-1 with about 25 minutes left. But then on 69 minutes, Mark Gamble restored the Magpies' 2-goal advantage. Another cracking goal, once again set free on the left, beat his man there. This time came in towards the goal, and from a very tight angle, his left foot found the roof of the net. Absolutely cracking, classic Mark Gamble goal. But again, Yate came back only 2 minutes later on 71 minutes. An absolutely screaming volley from George Box made it 3-2. What an exciting game this was at this point. 2 more great saves by Horsell from Luke Holmes on 76 minutes and 85 minutes. It's probably Wimborne looked slightly more likely to increase their lead than Yate did to equalise. And the fourth goal eventually came in the 88th minute when Jamie Davidson come on as a sub. Got the ball clear on the left corner of the penalty box, worked his way across goal, feinting to shoot at least 3 or 4 times, and then when he ran out of space, back-heeled the ball to Matt Kemble, whose lovely shot beat the keeper. An absolute classic piece of Jamie Davidson magic, and a good finish by Matt Kemble. Kemble had come on for Griffin and Davidson for Luke Holmes, both of whom had excellent games, and welcomed John Blake back to the first team action. He came on for Luke Stone on 69 minutes. So the final whistle went, and it was Wimborne Town 4, Yate Town 2. Really, really entertaining game here on a beautiful afternoon. an excellent performance by Wimborne, who that means we've scored 10 goals in our last 2 home games. Just one sour note, some of the Yate town players, their language was not all it should have been, and that's not really what we want at non-league and non-league football when we're trying to attract families to games. The referee eventually booked the number 5, and he stopped his language, which does beg the question: why didn't the ref take action earlier? But that's just a minor quibble. This was a cracking game between 2 good teams, and Yate played a full part in the game. Next up for Wimborne, we're at home again against Stratford next Saturday, and we hope to see you here. Steve's with me now after today's 4-2 win over Yate Town. Steve, a cracking game and some great goals. What was your take on it?
Yeah, it was closer than I wanted it to be, but fair play to Yate. We got ourselves a 2-goal lead twice, and they pegged us back and was put under a bit of pressure. And you look at the chances created by both sides on goal throughout the game was impressive. And they're in a good run of form, and we played well against them today. But I always felt that we had a goal in us. Even in the first half, I felt that we could have scored more than what we did, and certainly improved that second half. But I think again we needed Jason to make a few saves for us, which he did.
Although having said that, probably their keeper was arguably the man of the match. I mean, he was in the right place at the right time for some tremendous saves.
Yeah, I think Luke Holmes has had 4 or 5 shots on target today. Very unlucky not to score, and the one exceptional save when it broke to Luke and he looked like certain to score, and the keeper got across and saved it was an outstanding save. Yeah,
that's 10 goals in 2 consecutive home games for us, I think, and we haven't done as well at home as we've done away this season, particularly against teams like Yate. I mean, maybe the smart money would have been on Yate today, but what did we do differently today than we've been doing in other games?
Well, I think this a lot of had this question a lot. I think because of the away form, and it's been impressive this year for us. But I don't think the home form is particularly that bad. But there's probably been 1 or 2 games where we've drawn that we should have got something a bit more out of, and then the others that we've lost. And it's been the odd go. And I thought today that you could have, like you say, argued that they could have come here and been favourites to win today. But we're trying to be positive at home, which we've gone with 2 up front today, and the wide players as well. So we've been very positive, and I think that paid off for us. We had to ride a little bit of luck maybe, and that's what we probably have to do a little bit at home, is probably just be a little bit more adventurous and try and score a few more goals. And I just said in there, if we win 4-3 or 5-4 each week, then that's what we have to do. But we've got goals in our teams. That's what we're capable of doing.
Mark Gamble scored a sensational goal. I think the bunch would be Luke Stone's goal. Mark again did ever so well out the left wing. His hard cross, and there was Luke Stone at the back post. That's what you're looking for in a
I think it's work in progress with the 2 of them. They've never played together. They don't know each other, and we've thrown them in up front together. They're 2 very similar players who like to play off the back of people, and we like to be facing the goal. So I think you've got to give that time to develop. And I was thinking that probably we've seen little signs of it today, but then in the last 45 or the second 45 minutes, I thought they were excellent together, really threat. I was watching Mark when he got into that position. I knew exactly what he was going to do, go on the outside of him, and I was following Luke's run, and Luke getting himself in for a tap in. And I've been probably a little bit critical of 1 or 2 players not making those types of runs to get yourself a little tap in, but it's the run that gets you there. But Mark was impressive right throughout that second half. He was a real threat and really caused them real problems.
Franklin Clark, does he ever stop running?
Yeah, he's got some lungs on him, and he keeps running and running and running. Right even in the 93rd minute, he wants to go forward and run, and he's given us some real energy in there. It's been a difficult period. It could have been a difficult period with John, obviously, because John gives us those real strong defensive qualities alongside James. But Franklin's done well, and having good bench today was a major plus as well. I think we've seen that with John coming up, coming off the bench and just changing the formation, made us a little bit stronger defensively, and then fresh legs to come on in the wide areas, and that brought us a 4th goal as well.
Yeah, good to see Blakey coming on as a sub. Is he fully recovered now?
Yeah, we're being careful with him. Obviously I think it was about 20-25 minutes today. Potentially might have a little run out midweek for an hour or so with the reserves. We'll have a little look at that, see how he feels today, and if he gets through that, then hopefully he'll be ready for a start then.
Yeah. One thing finally, Steve, we've got to mention Jamie Davidson's little cameo at the end. They trekked across the penalty area with about 4 dummies, beat 4 players, eventually said to hell with it, back heel, and there was Matt.
Yeah, it was a clever little bit of play at the end there, because obviously he was played through, and you think go and score the first one, the defender got back and cleared it, but Jamie's got loads of ability ability and composure. He was never going to be rushed. He was going just waiting for the right angle, and you think that go and shoot, but clever little back heel, and it allowed Matt to finish it off. But you know, that's probably what I said about the substitutes today. When you've got everybody fit and available, you can bring fresh legs on, and you know, that would have been difficult for, you know, maybe one or two others to get up to that there. But fresh legs, they got him into the box, and we score a goal from it, and it seals the game. So you know, absolutely delighted with that.
Steve, it was a delight to watch today. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks.